Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we will be reading Miss Blake is a Flake. Chapter 9, Bear Attack. Let's dive in and thank you for listening. Chapter 9, Bear Attack. I thought I was gonna die. Eek! We all screamed. The bear was big and black and scary. I saw it with my own eyes. Well, it should be pretty hard to see something with somebody else's eyes. You were the bear. The bear was standing there about 20 feet away, staring at us. Scared, said Emily, who had a reason to be scared for the first time in her life. We were all scared. We didn't know what to say. We didn't know what to do. We had to think fast. Miss Blake, shouted Andrea. Come quick, it's an emergency. Maybe it's a friendly bear, Alexia whispered, like Winnie the Pooh. Or Paddington. If you don't know what Paddington the bear is, search it up. It's a movie, and it's actually a good movie, so watch it now, or I will find you. I'm just kidding, I won't find you, but I will eat all your cookies. So yeah. Yeah, whispered Ryan, like Corduroy or Fozzie Bear. They're friendly. Or the Three Bears, whispered Neil. Or the Care Bears, or... Grrr, growled the bear as it opened its mouth and showed its big teeth. We all screamed. I could smell the bear's bad breath. I don't think it's friendly, said Ryan. Miss Blake came running out of her tent. What's going on out here? She barked. I was trying to get some. Dong, dong, dong. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. But she didn't have the chance to finish her sentence, because that's when she noticed the bear. That's name is definitely not Paddington. Grrr, growled the bear. Punch it in the face, Miss Blake, shouted Ryan. That's when the weirdest thing in the history of the world happened. Miss Blake fainted. Her eyes rolled up in her head, and she fell backward. Michael and Neil caught her just before she hit the ground. We all screamed. Grrr, growled the bear. What are we going to do now? Shouted Neil. I don't like today. Emily, Andrea shouted. Quick, climb on my shoulders. Why? Asked Emily. I'm scared. Just do it, shouted Andrea. If we make ourselves look big, it might scare the bear away. How do you know that? Asked Michael. I read it in the Beaver Scout handbook, Andrea replied. We all helped Emily climb up onto Andrea's back. Now spread your arms out and make lots of noise, Andrea shouted. We all started yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering. And that's when the weirdest thing in the history of the world happened. The bear turned around and walked off into the woods. We did it! Emily shouted excitedly. He's leaving! Wow! Andrea should get the Nobel Prize. That's a prize they give out to people who don't have bells. Not true. I never knew you could scare a bear away just by pretending it to be bigger and making noise. I thought our overnight couldn't get more exciting than that, but then something even more exciting happened. I'm not going to tell you what it was. Okay, I'll tell you, but you have to read the next chapter. Footnote, so na boo boo on you. Rude. Chapter 10, Saving Miss Blake. Everybody was happy that the bear ran away, but then we realized Miss Blake was still on the ground. "She's not breathing," shouted Alexia. "We've got to do something," shouted Emily. "You have a smartphone, Andrea," shouted Michael. "Call 911. There's no phone service out here," Andrea shouted back. "We should run and get help," shouted Ryan. "No time for that," shouted Andrea. "Miss Blake could die. There's only one thing to do. We have to give her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation." "No!" Ugh, gross. "I wasn't going to do that. It's way too much like kissing." "Move over," Andrea barked. She got down on her hands and knees and started blowing air into Miss Blake's mouth. Yuck. "Is it working?" Andrea whispered while Andrea gave Miss Blake mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. "I can't tell," whispered Neil. "I guess Miss Blake isn't so brave after all," whispered Emily. "And I'll bet she never punched a bear's face in the face," I said. "She's totally afraid of bears." "I think she's waking up," shouted Michael. Miss Blake opened her eyes. "Where am I?" she asked. "What happened to the bear?" "It ran away," Andrea told her. "We're safe now. Thank goodness for that," said Miss Blake. "As it turned out, we weren't safe at all, because that's when the weirdest thing in the history of the world happened. There was a roaring sound in the distance." "What's that?" asked Emily. "It sounds like a jet engine," I shouted. But it wasn't a jet engine. It was the sound of rushing water. It was a wall of water. It was coming straight at us. "Wow," everybody said, which is Mom upside down. "Run for your lives," shouted Neil. "It's a flash flood," shouted Miss Blake. "Try to grab onto something and hold on. Never leave your buddy behind." This was the worst thing to happen since TV turn-off week. Everybody was yelling and screaming and hooting and hollering and freaking out. We made a run for it, but the wall of water caught up to us. It knocked me over. But no, Betcha didn't see that coming. I started swimming. I couldn't see anything. My body was being thrown every which way. Rocks were all around. I bumped my head on something. "Arlo, are you okay?" I heard Andrea shout, and that was the last thing I remember. Chapter 11. The Big Surprise Ending. The next thing I knew, I was on stage in the all-purpose room at school. My head felt a little weird. I reached up to touch my forehead, and there was a bandage on it. I looked around. The room was filled with our parents and teachers. All the Beaver Scouts were on stage with me. Footnote, that's a room that has dolphins in it. Wait. Oh, it meant all-purpose room. "What's going on?" I whispered to Ryan, who was standing next to me. "They're going to give out the award," he whispered back. Our principal, Mr. Klutz, bounded up onto the stage. He held up his hands and made a peace sign, which means shut up. "Welcome," Mr. Klutz announced. "I hear you Beaver Scouts had quite an adventure this week. I'd like to introduce Miss Blake to tell us about it." Miss Blake took the microphone. Everybody gave her a round of applause. "These kids are tough, I'll tell you that," she said. "Toughest Beaver Scouts I've seen." "What happened on your overnight?" asked Mr. Klutz. "We took a nature hike," explained Miss Blake, "and we set up camp for the night. The kids made a fire, and we ate hot dogs and marshmallows. And the next thing we knew, we were attacked by a bear." Gasps. Everybody gasped. "What did you do?" asked Miss Klutz. "Well," said Miss Blake, "I was just about to punch that bear in the face when the bear punched me in the face." Gasp. Everybody gasped again. "What? The bear never punched Miss Blake in the face. We knew the truth. She fainted when she saw the bear. The bear punched you in the face? Asked Mr. Klutz. Yes, said Miss Blake. Isn't that right, kids? I looked at Ryan. Ryan looked at Michael. Michael looked at Neil. Neil looked at Emily. Emily looked at Andrea. We were all looking at each other. Yes, Miss Blake, Andrea said. The bear punched you in the face. I was knocked unconscious. Miss Blake continued. What happened next? Well, I'd better let these brave Beaver Scouts tell you. We were all scared, Andrea said. Emily climbed up on my back, and we made loud noises to scare the bear away. And then Andrea gave Miss Blake mouth-to-mouth resuscitation until she woke up again, added Emily. Andrea smiled and smiled. No, Andrea smiled and smiled. She smiles to let everybody know how wonderful she is. Wow, that's some story, said Mr. Klutz. That's not the end of it, said Miss Blake. What happened after that, kids? There was a flash flood, said Michael. It came out of nowhere, said Ryan. Water was everywhere. We thought we were gonna die, I said. Everybody gasped. What happened after that? Asked Mr. Klutz. All our supplies got swept by the water, said Andrea. And then we got swept by the water, said Emily. Arms and legs were everywhere, said Ryan. I didn't know what happened after that. After that, Neil said, AJ bumped his head on a rock. Andrea saved his life, said Emily. What? I didn't know that part AJ was drowning, said Alexia. Andrea swam over and dragged him out of the water. She gave him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation until he started breathing again, said Alexia. Wait, what? I shouted. Andrea gave you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, said Alexia. She saved your life. No, I shouted, wiping off my mouth. Disgusting. It's true, AJ, said Neil. It looked like she was kissing you. Ooh, Andrea and AJ were kissing, said Ryan. They must be in love. When are you going to get married? Asked Michael. It was the worst moments of my life. I wanted to run away to Antarctica and go live with the penguins. Penguins don't have to give each other mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Well, that's gratitude for you, complained Andrea. Arlo, I'm never going to save your life again. That's pretty much what happened. Miss Blake said she was really proud of us. She gave each of us a sticker, a decal, a ribbon, a badge, a belt loop, and a certificate, a medallion, and a plaque. And that said how brave we were. Then she gave Andrea the Busy Beaver of the Year award. Her parents took pictures. Maybe Miss Blake will admit she's afraid of bears. Maybe people will stop taking pictures of cheese. Maybe we'll go spelunking. Maybe Andrea will take a class in brushing your teeth. Maybe Mr. Dummy will stop breathing again. Maybe beavers will start chatting about what they're going to have for dinner. Maybe I'll let the guys talk me into singing up to be a Beaver Scout again next year. But it won't be easy. The end. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this book, and thanks for listening. And there are a lot of more books that the author has wrote. My Weird School series, the first series, Miss Daisy is Crazy. Then the second book is Mr. Klutz is Nuts. My Weirder School, Miss Child Has Gone Wild. And the second book we have read, Mr. Harrison is Embarrassing. Then my weirdest school, Mr. Cooper is Super. Then the second one is Miss Cuddy is Nutty. And then my weirderest school, Dr. Snow Has to Go. Then the book 2, Miss Porter is Out of Order. And then my weird school fast facts sports, and space humans and farts. Okay? My weird school days, like, it's Mrs. Dole is out of control, and then it's Mr. Sunny is funny. Then my weird tips, my weird reading tips, my weird writing tips. And that's all the books. Not all of them, it's just some of them that you can read on here, but they are really good. So guys, I hope you enjoyed, and we will be reading another book tomorrow. Bye! See you next time. Bye!